Oh man, I almost didn't make it tonight. Just looks at the clock, see what time it is. Totally missed it last week. So if you and I missed it last week, I don't have any idea what was going on. But I can almost guarantee.
This is KB2OYI.
That's a guarantee. I almost guarantee nothing's going to change. It's going to be exactly the same thing as it is every week.
I want to welcome everyone back to the RASNet, which we do Wednesday nights, 7 p.m. on the 442.550 meter, which uses a positive offset and a 74F4 PL tone. My name is Rob, Romeo Oscar Bravo, and my call sign still is Kilo Bravo 2, Oscar Yankee India, KB2OYI. Now I'll be your net control operator for this evening's net. But before we get started, is there any stations on frequency having any emergency or priority traffic? If so, please call out. Nothing heard. If anytime anyone does have any emergency or priority traffic, just please call Brayson and we'll yield free traffic. But once again, we meet here on Wednesday nights and encourage check-ins regardless of your location, affiliation, or your license class. All authorized amateurs are always invited to participate, and the purpose of our net is general fellowship within the local ham radio community, bringing any awareness to radio events happening in the area, as well as any RAS club-specific items. We want to remind you, if you have any questions related to ham radio, you can ask them in your comments, and perhaps someone on the net knows the answer. And you can also email helpdesk@rats.net, and your message will be sent to the Rats Elders group, and then we'll respond and help you find the help you need. You do not need to be a member of Rats to use the service, and that email address again is helpdesk@rats.net. So I wanted to tie in Halloween to the topic or question of the night, and now once again we're delivering the hard-hitting discussion topic. So here it is. What is your favorite candy? But you are not allowed to answer Snickers bars or Reese's peanut butter cups.
Why not?
Candy that is not a Snickers bar or Reese's peanut butter cup. We had to disqualify something. It's very mainstream, so that's what I chose.
519, 2nd Avenue. Engine 15. Cardiac arrest.
When checking in, please give your call sign and first name. Slowly, phonetically helps me out even more. Please say if you have any announcements or traffic for that. We handle the traffic first, and then formal comments after that. Let's get the list started. Mobile pull stations first. Mobile pull stations wishing to check into the net, please call out.
This is Kilo Delta 4, India Romeo Bravo. I get sent over, no traffic.
KD4IB, Mike, stand by. Let's try to build this list up a little more. This is KB2OI with the Wednesday Night RASNet. Looking for any check-ins wanting to join us. If you're out there, please call now.
This is Kilo Oscar 4, Uniform Oscar Romeo Scott.
This is Kilo 4, November, Alpha, Golf, Mr. Mountain.
This is Kilo Oscar 4, Victor Echo Mike Davis.
Engine 5. Engine 6. Tug
This
3.
is
In the
Alpha India 4, Romeo November,
335.
Keith,
Front Street.
North Chesterfield, no traffic.
Engine 5. Engine 6. Tug
This
3.
is
In Battalion 1. Fire alarm. 325. West.
Kilo Oscar 4, Kilo Alpha Delta, Randy, Western and Ragchew, no traffic.
Contact Channel 2. Timeout. 1902.
keying up. Let's see if you're out there. This is keep it to OYI. Looking for any stations I may have missed. Want to join the list? Please call now. This is Kilo Juliet 5, Bravo Sierra Whiskey, Matt, in Chesterfield. Yes, KJ5 BSW is still list. Alright, let's start at the top. Off first, I'll answer the question. I'm going to give the 100 grand bar some love. Put that as my non-Snickers, non-Reese's favorite. And if you are going to Kroger to buy some Halloween candy, it's hard to find. All they have out now is the Christmas Hershey Kisses and all that good stuff. So Halloween stuff is shoved in the small corner. It's all on markdown. So stock up. Alright, let's start at the top of the list. Mike, KD4RB, good to hear you as always. Your comments for the night, guys.
This is KD4RB, good evening, Rob. To everybody on the night. Well, it was on a great day. It is not raining, just wet all day long. I expected some better weather, but more rain or heavier rain, but it just don't happen. Otherwise, there's not much in here. But to comment, I think you are a little bit too close to the radio or your microphone. At least what I hear you overdriving the transmitter. A little bit funny. But for my favorite candy, I don't have any. You are not blue. Policy is, if I don't like it, I don't. If I like it, it's for IRB.
Alright, Mike, well, we appreciate you joining the net as always. And hope you're doing well and stay dry. I think we're supposed to get some more rain all through the night and for the first part of the morning tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that. But it should be dry this weekend. Alright, next on the list, got a buddy, Scott, KO4UR. Scott, it was good to finally get our QSO out of the way over the weekend. And yeah, what you got going on? Go ahead.
All right. Good evening, Rob, and everyone on the net. This is Scott, KO4UR, Western Henrico. And for all of those, that check in and have young children, as a parent, it is your job to eat as much of your kids' candy as fast as you can in order to protect their teeth. So it's just something you have to do.
What?
But as far as best candies go, well, Reese's is the best, but you can't choose that one. I like candy corn, and I like Butterfinger, and I like Nerds. And some of those this evening.
Why is that surprising?
For the holidays. But, yeah. Hope everybody enjoys the holiday. KO4UOR, 23 everyone. Back to net control.
So you eat the candy, but not the apples and potatoes.
Scott, appreciate that. I almost disqualified Butterfinger as well too, but I definitely can imagine that's a lot of folks' favorite. Nerds is my favorite non-chocolate candy, so good choice there. And I don't hate candy corn. I like it for about a dozen pieces, and then I'm good for the next 12 months. So I'm sure you can buy all the candy corn you want to on extra clearance coming up the next week or two. Because I usually feel like that stuff just sits around in a shopping cart with big markdown signs until like middle of November. So. All right, Scott, you be well. We'll chat again soon. Next on the list is our buddy Nick, K4NAG. Nick, what you got going on? Your comments for the net.
Good evening, Rob.
and everybody else on the net. K4NAG, Nick here. Kind of bummed. Reese's got to show it the love. That's probably the best one. But barring that option, I have to go with Zag Nuts or Gummy Bears. The Zag Nuts I kind of stumbled on when I was a kid, and they're just absolutely fantastic. Definitely not popular, hard to find in the local chains, but they run a special 2 for $5, so I'm usually grab 2 when I can. Other than that, I had a great weekend. Ended up making 119 QSOs on UHF for the contest and had a fantastic time. And then I actually found out that I will be missing next week's net. I will be taking the trip of a lifetime to Cuba to go into Havana for 3 days. Leave on Wednesday the 5th and come back real late Saturday. I think I'll get in Richmond like Sunday morning, but the opportunity came up and I couldn't pass it up. So I'm sorry I missed some of our QSOs over the weekend locally. I was just addicted to that HF, and by the time I looked at the clock, it was time to go get dinner. So with that, I hope everyone has a great week, and I'll be around over the weekend. K4NAG, back to net control. All right, Nick. Well, enjoy that trip. We look forward to hearing a recap. Definitely familiar with the Zagna bar, but I don't think I've ever actually had one. Yeah, again, enjoy your trip. The farmer who comes and picks up our grain for his pigs is from Cuba, and he went a couple weeks ago to visit some family there. His comments on his trip were just because you rent a car does not mean there'll be gas for the car, and the power being on is never a guarantee there. Either way, I hope you have a great time, and a buddy of mine that was there a couple weeks ago too. So. All right, again, we look forward to the recap when you return for sure. All right, this is KB2OII with the Rats Net. Let's go ahead and do a quick call out, see if there's anyone else we want to add. Any stations wishing to join us and get on the list, please call now. Kilo 4, Sierra Hotel, Oscar. Kilo Golf 4, Papa Echo, Ted, Steve, and Richard. Alright, that recognizes and adds to the list SHO and PEQ. Topic of the night is what's your favorite candy? However, Snickers and Reese's peanut butter cups are off the list. You have to dig a little deeper. Alright, let's go where we left off. Our buddy David, KO4VEM. David, your comments for the net. Go ahead, sir.
Good evening, Rob, and everyone on the net. This is KO4VEM, David out in King William. Since my favorite candy is going to get me disqualified, I won't mention it. But my next favorite would be York peppermint patties. I can eat those things all day. They're awesome. Since our kids grew up, we really don't do anything for Halloween. But when you're talking about candy, I got to get a few York peppermint patties in there. Always works out. And Rob, you're from New Jersey. I'm sure you remember Goosey Night. That was the night before Halloween. We went out and put soap on car windows and did crazy stuff. Nothing that got us in trouble or anything. But that was the night to be out on the streets, apparently. And I still remember those days as a kid. Anyway, that's all I have, Rob. I hope everybody has a great weekend and stay dry. This is KO4VEM Clear.
Well, York peppermint patties is a fine choice, and yeah, I remember we talked about this last year. The term Goosey Night is very much limited to the part of New Jersey where we're kind of from. A lot of other folks call it Mischief Night. I mean, I've mentioned the word Goosey Night, people look at me like I'm crazy. And then there's actually some parts of New Jersey. I saw this thing online. maybe from Pennsylvania, where they call it Cabbage Night. Have you ever heard of that, David?
No, Rob, that's a new one on me. I had never heard that one.
Alright, well, if you're really bored later tonight, do a little search about it. You'll see that there's little nooks of New Jersey that call it Cabbage Night. And again, I've never heard of that because I guess none of us were driving when we were in our Tuesday night days, and we didn't know what other people in different parts of the state were calling it. But I don't think I'll be doing it tomorrow night. I'm just not on my to-do list. All right, David, good to chat with you as always. We'll clear with you. And next is Keith, AI4RN. Your comments to the net.
Well, good evening, Rob, and everyone on the net. I would have to say that the Hershey Special Dark Chocolate Bar is probably my most favorite. And it's followed closely by Heat Bar. If I had to pick a third, I would say Nerds is a non-chocolate choice. But all of those, I definitely steal from my grandchildren for that one. Richard, that's all I have. AI4RN 73, everybody. Back to that control. Something for you to respond.
All right, Keith, more solid choices. When you get that Hershey's variety pack, I always steal out the Special Dark and the Mr. Good bars. But no one's mentioned any candies that I really am not a fan of at all. And if anyone does, I will definitely let you know, because I'm sure everybody wants to know which candies are on my personal ban list. As you're a control operator, it's good to know, good information to know. But no one's mentioned any of them so far, so great job by the group. All right, next we have our good friend Randy, KO4, KAD. Randy, your comments for the net, go ahead.
KV2LI, KO4, KAD, good evening, Rob, and everybody on the net. I would have to go with the Heat Bar as well, and then Payday. I love peanuts, so yeah, those would probably be up there at the top of my list, although the two unmentionable ones are awfully good as well, so yeah. Yeah, I had a pretty good weekend with pretty good radio weekend myself on doing that contest. Wasn't really into so much, seeing how many contacts I could rack up. I was more concerned with getting DX contacts that I hadn't worked before, and actually worked Japan voice or sideband, on 15 meters. And he was just booming in loud and clear, 5x9. So that was really cool. Never worked Japan before, so that made the whole weekend just excellent. And yeah, the bands were just packed with DX stations everywhere. So it was a lot of fun. That's all I've got, Rob. Thanks for doing it, and back to net control. 7-3 from KO4KAD.
There's my favorite right there. How could I forget?
All right, Randy. And my wife's a big fan of the Paydays, and they also make chocolate-covered Paydays too, which are pretty good. Yeah, I played. The only last day I really play radio was on a Sunday, and I gave it a good 2 hours worth, and I just stayed on 15 meters. 15 meters was awesome. I didn't really need to switch around because favorite Halloween candy. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you kind of stole the Reese's out there, but I like hard candies and gummies. So I'm gonna say Jolly Rancher, or I like the guy's choice of Nerds earlier. Definitely top two there for me. Back to you.
That can be really sweet and or sour.
All right, well, we appreciate you joining us this evening, and yeah, it's you know, you got to make the list a little bit of a challenge. You know, cancel out the most usual suspects that we would all mostly say. Get some good answers, and Nerds is getting a lot of love tonight. I like to see that. All right, moving on to KK4, SHO Andrew. Andrew, your comments on that, guys. So.
Good evening, Rob, and everybody else on the net. This is KK4SHO. I have a few favorites from candy. Let's see, there's Hershey's milk chocolate with almonds in it. I love that. That's pretty cool. And KO4B mentioned York peppermint patties. That's pretty good. I don't know if they've changed that yet. And I don't know if anybody else said it, but Bit O Honey. I don't know if you remember those days.
Those are good.
They still have Bit O Honey.
They're sticky, but they're good.
As well as the payday you mentioned. So, bunch of good choices there. Good to hear about that. 73s, and this is KK4 SHO. Back to net.
All right, Andrew, appreciate you joining us. I am familiar with a bit of honey. You know, some of those old-fashioned ones that come like in that, like that wax wrapper. I remember getting they were called Mary Jane. They had like this yellow wrapper and like a hard caramel that eventually got chewy, but probably would rip the tooth out.
Yeah.
I always thought they were pretty good, but yeah. All right, to the bottom of the list. Good to have Steve with us tonight. KG4PQ, Steve, what you got for us? Go ahead.
Good evening, Rob, and everyone else. Count me in the payday group. Can't get enough of that. People wake up stuff. If anyone's not aware, we made some improvements to the 146.88 machine over the weekend, bringing some on run.
What? Speak up.
Check it out. It's performing really well. We think the station's pretty far out. Low power. The filters in place Saturday morning. The wire deck services on that repeater are temporarily restricted. Only allowing connections out to the producing room right now. Several notifications the next week or so. Get traffic down on the South Campbell. Flying by there, it's going to take a few minutes, but it's going to have to do it. Let your feedback. And I think that's all I've got. We'll move on next to figuring out what the crackle is that's developing on this machine. We've got same sort of static crackle starting to show up here. Here from the 8 back to 2018. The problem started. That's where it's coming from. So we'll get that cleaned up there. We'll turn it back over to you, Rob. 7-3. KG4B. Good night.
Appreciate all the work that you do and the tech committee, and getting that update and remedy on the 88 machine. It's great information to pass along. I believe there's a little write-up on it on rats.net website if anyone wants some more information on that. So I'll have to get over there and do a little call out. I've been neglecting the 88 for a while, so I'm like to go take your first test drive also myself. So, all right, we'll grab a quick nickel. Before I do my last call for check-ins, because I was the bottom of the list, I'm just going to let everybody know what I think is the worst candy
You know, he always sounds like he's got candy in his mouth, especially when he talks.
Whiskey 4, Romeo Yankee. Guys, this is KK4OW and W4RYQ. Mike, please stand by. I'm going to go to Doc first. A lot of times he checks in his mobile. Doc, go ahead. You barely got in there. I know your call sign, so I know it's you. Go ahead with your comments. Alright, this is W4RYQ.
Barely.
Lunenburg. I'll let him. Bill says, anyway, I'm out here, these, Christmas trees. Wouldn't that be Christmas trees? Technology you can do with cell phones. I'm getting in. Doc, we only got maybe 15% of that transmission. We know it's you. We know you're somewhere with the name Berg in it, and we heard something about Christmas trees. I'll give it to you one more time, see if we can't bring you in a little better, but if we can't, it was good to hear you regardless. Go ahead, Doc. Okay, the Christmas trees are the Little Debbie Christmas tree cakes, and I'm teasing Jeff with them. So I found this
But that's a pastry.
right here, Berg County. Surprised.
Engine 21. Unconscious. 1507. Ivy Mount Road. Engine 21. Unconscious. 1507. Ivy Mount Road. Cross Street.
Doc, we did get that Jeff likes Little Debbie Christmas tree cake, so good information to have there. Appreciate you joining us tonight, and drive safe, and we'll catch you again down the line. We'll clear it, Doc, and let's go to Mike, KK4OWU. You comments for the night, guys. Yes, KK4OW, Mike up in Glen, Virginia. 73 body. Thank you for doing that, Rob. You're sounding great. I'm not going to mention the Richmond Marathon tonight. We could still use some volunteers. Go to the Rats front page to volunteer, but I'm not going to mention that. But anyway, as far as candies, the other thing is the Hershey's miniatures, you sorted. They're great, and I agree completely with everybody about the peppermint patties and the heat bars, and especially the dark chocolate. It's making me want to break into the big bags of candy I bought for the trick-or-treaters, which I may do in a minute. But other than that, everything's going good. 7-3 Jet Body, thank you, Rob. KK4OWU. Mike, we appreciate you joining us tonight, and again, try to leave a little bit for the folks on for Friday night. Hi. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and close the net down tonight. Return the repeater to regular amateur radio usage. I want to thank everyone for participating. Good topic tonight, and watch out for all the ghouls and goblins on Friday night. And if you're out there with kids or grandkids, have a blast. It should be a pretty clear evening for all the festivities. So, until then, everyone have a great finish of the week, and we'll catch you throughout the weekend, hopefully. Keep it to all right. Thanks, 7-3. And I'll be quick.
It's almost like
November 4, Whiskey Lima Charlie, Bill Lee, check it.
it's almost like they do this just to get it out of the way and get it over with. with little importance.
All right, Bill, we won't hold it against you. KB2 OII 2 and 4WLC. What's up, Bill? You guys always do Halloween up pretty good. What kind of plans you got? Any cool costumes and festivities?
Yeah, we've already done a birthday party / Halloween party this past Saturday, and I went as a ninja. Judy went as a biker chick, and there's others dressed up in various outfits. I don't eat candy, but I would say my favorite would have been peppermint patty back in the day, and that's about all I got. I got somebody else here. It's going to be a surprise for you. 73 Rob in 4WSC clear, and let this last one in.
And for JDI, good evening, Rob. We just caught the end of that, but I don't think anyone mentioned my favorite, which were the Malamars. There's probably young people there that don't know what that is. But that and circus peanuts, but they stopped handing those out when I got
Gross.
older because, obvious reasons. But
It's because they're gross.
those are my good Malamars. Anyway, I hope y'all have a good evening, and we'll be handing out candy. Hopefully there'll be a little something left because they have full-size bars. I'll have you know. Anyway, 73, and have a great Halloween. And for JDS.
All right, well, we appreciate you joining us. Better late than never. Hope you guys have fun out there, and you sold yourselves out, but you're giving away the full-size bars, so feel free to look up their call signs on QRZ and go get yourself. You guys have a great night. Great to hear you both, as always. KB2 OII, 73, and I'll be clear so I can go make my wife dinner.
That's the priority. Got to go get in the kitchen. Very well understood. And again, sometimes I feel lucky that I'm allowed in the kitchen just to cook something. There's a reason for that. It's not because my cooking is bad. It's just because it's an inconvenience. But, you can't stand the heat. Get out of the kitchen. That's a personal choice. Anyways, thanks for watching. Appreciate you getting this far. William K4ARX. You're watching the Rat's Net on the American Radio X-Ray here on YouTube.